Thank you, Madam Chair. Thank you again for being here, Madam Secretary. I have a few questions to start with, which hopefully we can get through very quickly, but regarding communication and transparency. So first, thank you for submitting a timely spending plan as required by the fiscal year 2025 full year continuing resolution. But what you submitted had some notations, footnotes, that there are ongoing reviews of certain funding allocations. So will you commit to having your staff provide periodic updates to the Appropriations Committee staff on that review and the department's implementation of the appropriations law?
Yes.
Second, will you please commit to me that your staff will notify committee staff of any programmatic delays the department experiences in spending any of the appropriated funds, again, fiscal year 2025?
Yeah, my goal is to always have the open conversations with
Great.
the Appropriations Committee.
And then finally, will you provide me with information on workforce reductions, including counts of the number of staff accepting deferred resignations for each of the department's offices through the most recent pay period?
Yeah, thank you, Senator Baldwin. If I might elaborate just a tad on that. You mentioned the House Appropriations Committee. Congressman Steny Hoyer asked me that exact question. I did not have that information at that point. So we're still in that 45-day window. Approximately 2,700 employees have opted to take that DRP. I reported that out also to Congressman Hoyer as well, so just as an FYI. And also for our inspectors and our investigators, which I think is key to the Department of Labor, the essential workers through OSHA, MSHA, and Wage and Hour Division, we have exempted from taking that program because they are essential to the Department of Labor for the enforcement.
Okay. And you know, I want to just comment on the deferred resignation program because, you know, this administration has been crystal clear that it wants to significantly reduce the federal workforce. And the President's Executive Order 14210 says agency heads shall promptly undertake preparations to initiate large-scale reductions in force. And information provided to federal employees about the deferred resignation program indicated that the federal workforce is expected to undergo significant near-term changes. As a result of these changes, or for other reasons, you may wish to depart the federal government on terms that provide you with sufficient time and economic security to plan your future. This is really doing everything in my mind to tell employees to leave, because if they don't, they're probably going to get fired. But anyways, Madam Secretary, I'm concerned that this administration is paying lip service to protecting and supporting American workers, but then taking actions that harm them. We see the chaotic approach to tariffs impacting small businesses and larger employers who have had their supply chains disrupted and their workers paying the price with reduced work hours and price hikes to come. The department has pushed out approximately 20% of its staff who are now being paid not to work, which will seriously undermine the department's ability to fulfill its mission to support American workers. This includes forcing out about 25% of the staff at the Employee Benefits Security Administration, that we call EBSA, responsible for protecting the benefits of more than 156 million American workers and retirees. So prior to implementing these staffing reductions, did you do an evaluation of the impact that it would have on EBSA being able to do its job to protect Americans' benefits if 25% fewer people were working there?
At the Department of Labor, our goal is to fulfill the mission of every agency, and that is protecting workers' rights and benefits. That's an essential part of the core mission. I can tell you there are oftentimes what's important to me as the agency head is to make sure that spending more money doesn't necessarily get us the outcomes that we need. I can tell you the tariff conversation.
So you did an evaluation on what the impact would be on protecting workers' benefits by cutting that division by 25%?
We will always protect the American worker. It's essential to the Department of Labor.
So you did an evaluation prior to pushing out 25% of those workers.
As I came into office, I had committed to this committee and every other committee, and the full committee, to do every evaluation in every agency so I can pull back the curtain and understand exactly what I'm in leading. And
I would appreciate your sharing that evaluation and analysis with the committee. And I will submit some further questions for the record because I have quite a few others. So, thank you.